Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
All right, man.
Oh,
I
talking about your chai
just
a second ago, but um,
I think I put too much ginger in it. So spicy.
ooh, that sounds good. How do you make your chai?
Well, I found this stuff in London when I went in December, and it was an Indian restaurant that had unlimited chai as part of like their drink offerings. Just
Ooh,
crazy. I mean, I could dummy this stuff, easily have 3 cups of it in a shot.
nice.
But they sold the loose tea leaves, so I took a tin home and you basically boil it with water for 10 minutes, then add milk and sugar, boil that again for 10 minutes, and then let it sit for 5. And you basically have like this pretty good tasting 25-minute chai with like pretty nice color.
Ooh. So okay, so one more time, it's what's the first 10 minutes? And then what's the second 10
Just
minutes?
water and ginger,
Okay, so water and ginger for 10 minutes, and then the second 10 minutes is milk,
milk and sugar.
milk and sugar. And what kind of sugar? Does it matter?
I just use white sugar.
How much ginger?
2 slices,
Okay.
but you kind of just guess and check. I don't know. It's trial and error.
So do you know
Probably made this like 8 times now.
like cardamom? Do you know like that's like an Indian spice that makes chai good? I don't know. I've never used it, but I know a lot of people who've
Oh,
tried to
no,
make chai.
I've never seen that. I know what it is, but I wouldn't be able to visually identify it.
I feel like it's like a pebble of sorts. Um, I mean, I think I'm supposed to know how to make chai as an Indian, but nobody taught me. And I think
Like
my
from scratch.
maybe not from scratch. I don't know if I'm gonna like grow the leaves. I don't even know how the leaves exist. Um, but I think you're supposed to learn how to make chai as an Indian. But I think both my parents also failed at it, so their chai is pretty trash. I think out of all the people who has the best chai, it's probably Evelyn has the better chai out of everybody.
I
That's
um
just,
I put on my Instagram like, oh, learning how to make chai tea, and then I got roasted.
of course you did, as you should.
It's like when people say pho. I love pho.
Oh yeah, I love pho.
So I accepted my roasting. I accepted it. You can't be a sassy bastard, and then people just find they're looking for the like tiny things when you're a cocky bastard. They'll just take any opportunity. You have to be perfect.
You have to be perfect. Um, so I mean, I've gone on the chai train over the last like 5 years in the sense that we go to the Northeast on purpose to go get chai, and there's chai bars now in the Northeast that are just awesome, actually, that are just fantastic,
That's kind of
masala
cool.
chais. I mean, there's like 20 different choices. Um, this only exists in the Northeast Calgary. I saw it first kind of pop up in Vancouver, um, and when I was living there, and then kind of tried to seek it out here, and I've been noticing they've been popping up like crazy. Just little like cafes that are just chai focused and Indian snack focused, and they're great. Um, like like the concept of what chai is like in India, right? Like there's like a chai cart. Have you heard of that before? Like um it's like a food truck cart, where there's a chai dude and you get chai on the street, right? That actually exists in Vancouver on Commercial Drive. There's actually an Indian guy with a tiny little cart at the park, and he serves fresh chai, and it's fucking awesome. We don't have it in Calgary. The closest thing we have is at Saddle Ridge Station. There's a food truck that serves chai, and I haven't tried it, but it's the closest we get. I guess it's just
The
too
fact,
cold to fucking make chai in the
the
winter.
fact that you even know all that is amazing, dude.
Dude, I know a ton about chai. I don't know how to fucking make it, but I've been to all the chai spots, and
Yeah. Well, if I'm ever in London again, I'll stop by and get this stuff. I mean, I don't know shit, but it tastes good to me. And like when I ate it in the restaurant, okay, previous to that, I was basic bitch. All exposure I've had to chai was like Starbucks, bro. So I had this and I was like, oh my God, I've never had chai in my life. It was like so much more flavorful, so much more, I don't know, thicker in the mouthfeel,
Dude,
right? Like it was like brewed thick.
when you come back
Wasn't
to
just like
Calgary,
syrup.
we'll go on a chai tour, buddy. I'll take you on a chai
Yeah,
tour
down.
because there
Sick.
is so many fucking great chais. You just have to know where to go. And it's I give no credit to myself for exploring this. You know.
So you know who's got this tin? I brought one back for Alex Drake,
Oh,
so
okay,
you
okay,
could
yeah.
ping her and she has this.
I'll try to bug her and get some of that. Nice. Yeah. I didn't realize you separated water and then milk. I don't know. I gotta do that more.
I think maybe you just don't want to overboil the milk. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that makes perfect sense. I don't know. I've just never tried it enough. Oh, man,
But
it's
yeah, it's been
been a crazy week for me. How's your week been?
um not as crazy as yours. Not as crazy as yours. Weather here, it's been like it's plus 20 right now, man. I almost wanted to go
Ooh.
outside and just smoke shisha and enjoy the weather for and like postpone this podcast, but
Aw.
I'll do it with you here.
I mean, I wish you found a way to do it while smoking shisha outside, but
It's
maybe
really hard.
I know
There's
it's
so
just
much gear in
impossible.
front of me. Like,
Yeah, I know, I know.
it's not possible. I really want like doors that like slide open though. Like my buddy here has four doors that are basically just windows, but they just fully open. Kind of like a place that has like a patio. Man, that'd be such a nice feature to have. Then you could just like be sitting outside, kind of like a, but it's inside, you know?
Yeah. Man, I have a beautiful patio. Maybe I'll try to do the pod on the patio one of these days. That'd be dope. But huh,
But talk about your week first, or we can do mine and then climax into yours.
sure. Let's start with yours. Let's climax into mine. Sure.
Yeah, well, I just I'm slowly working to make my way back to Calgary. So um, I had called you earlier the week to talk about the strategy around my job offer. Not necessarily uh, what was in the job offer, but of course, it's whether to take it or like what's the best thing. So been noodling on that a bit, and of course, trying to also figure out okay, given my role in this company, how clean of a breakup do I want to have, right, with my people here in Germany. So I think I've kind of navigated that uh, as best as I can. Like it's not perfect, but I don't know. It's not easy to leave so abruptly across so much change, and I have like this personal feeling of guilt that I'm like abandoning people. But I think I just gotta at this point do what's best for me. So um, yeah, that's on the work front. Played first outdoor game of tennis this spring, which was
Ooh,
sick.
nice.
Clay, and I was super sore today because of that. But and yeah, so I guess I don't know. Just to feel moving countries is a lot of work, man. I don't think I'm fully ready yet, but I want it enough that I'm just gonna grind through it. You know, so much work,
Yep. I
as you know.
I know, and I don't. Oh man, I want to do it again, but I don't want to do it again.
And I'm
um,
like a cheap date too, man. I think I can maybe ship. How many things can you take with you on the plane just by paying extra? I think the number's like six.
I've never pushed this limit, but I'm sure you can box it. And I see the Asian families, across Asia, like with the cardboard boxes and all the plastic wrap. shipping like six things. I think you can. I think it's expensive though. It's the same price to bring it on the plane as it is to ship it. So like you can just ship it.
But the benefit of bringing on the plane is that like it's with you,
True,
right?
true.
It's gonna come out on the baggage carousel, and like that's kind of important.
Well, it depends if you have the help to like take it home with you because you got to go through customs and shit. But
I guess you just push it through
two carts
through the
or
cart. I never take a cart. I've never taken a cart in my life
this
at
is
the
why
airport, but I
there's a
like
max because of the cart limit, more or less. But yeah, I don't know.
no.
No, no. I
It's
mean,
an airline. It has to be an airline
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. But then
They can't let everybody
isn't the
ship six
problem,
bags.
are you allowed to add six bags in advance? Or do you have to do it partial at the airport? I guess you assume you could just do it in advance, right? Yeah. You just select six bags and I guess it works. Um, I never really
Yeah.
considered it. I never figured out how to do that, but that makes
I mean,
perfect
they
sense.
can't let everyone do six, right? So there's got to be like some kind of limit.
Um, I assume they have, I'm pretty sure what they do is they allow everybody to have one or whatever on the average. And then the rest they fill up with shipping goods. Like they just stuff shipping goods on planes now, from my understanding. So,
Yeah, they do.
um,
I
yeah.
think it's six. So,
How much stuff do you have?
okay, I have like two rolling duffels, which I think I can ram everything. But I got greedy, and because I was skiing in Italy and in Austria in like a couple weeks, I brought my snowboard back to Germany because I wanted to ride my own
Oh
gear.
yeah, you did.
So I have my board.
Okay, okay.
And then I've got the only other thing I have are my PC, which would be one, and then my like medium to high end speakers that I
Yeah,
guess I could ship, but it's at this point it's just like, okay, if I'm gonna do three, I might as well just do four and bring it all with me.
yeah, do it. I think that sounds like a good plan. Um,
Well, my offer, they offered me 10K to help me move, which I like definitely won't need. Like I don't have kids or family or anything.
I mean, it's for like rental, like transitioning to Calgary too. And being set up and being ready to go. I know you have a bunch of ways to do that on the cheap, but it is disruptive even if you don't have kids. There's disruption there.
It's like too low for kids, but a decent amount if you're single, I
Yeah,
think.
I think it's pretty decent. Um,
The only question is, do I counter offer for base comp?
yeah,
And I wonder if I do it just because the role includes some negotiation. So wouldn't it be bad if I didn't start by negotiating my salary in a role where I am helping negotiate?
man, I
He's
don't
like,
know.
ah, just take it. I just take it as offered. I'm like, oh no, no, you're fired then. You're fired.
I don't. Okay, I was trying to explain this earlier in the week. The amount of money you take correlates to how much responsibility you feel you have to put in. So, like, the lower the amount, the less you can care. The higher the amount, the
Silly.
more you have to care. No, it's just that's an
It's not linear. It's not like, and it's like relative to what? It's like if I make half, I don't care half as much. Like
yeah, you
it's
do.
completely non-linear.
It's totally
Also,
linear.
like, come on, man, it's me. I almost fully decoupled that. Like my
Wow.
job isn't
So you're
linear.
actually decoupled. I am not decoupled. I'm perfectly
No,
linear to
obviously.
how much my compensation is.
Yeah, that's insane. Lots of
Perfectly
people are.
linear. Perfectly
Lots of
linear.
people are.
Well, I have a bare minimum, I think, of work. But wait, I'm lying. It's not completely linear. It's also linear to enjoyability of work as well.
Of course, it's not linear. Like if I paid you 500 bucks to do something, you wouldn't care 20, 200 times less than doing something like that's your real job.
Um, okay, fine, fine. It's not linear, but there is a correlation there, right? There is a correlation. Like,
Yeah, but the lower you make that correlation, I think the better your life is.
That's
Start
true.
going upwards.
Wow.
You can earn a lot of money and still not care.
I don't know how to do that. That sounds great. Fuck, I want to do that. Oh man, that sounds great. Like I should learn how to work that in. Wow, interesting. Whatever. Yeah, I guess you have a plan there, and I think it's a good plan. You were talking to me about your car situation. Um,
Oh yeah. What do you
that's
think
a,
I should do?
I mean,
Okay, like, am I bored of the Type R? Don't know. Don't know. I'm getting there.
okay,
I think
where
I
is
have a
it?
price now.
Where is it located right now?
Who cares?
Okay, well, so it's in a garage downtown, somewhere in a garage, right? Got it. Okay. Okay. My question was like, is it easy accessible? And do you enjoy driving it? Okay,
Yes.
so how much do you enjoy driving it? When was the last time you drove it?
Uh, maybe last fall.
And what are you missing about? What are you not loving about it? What doesn't get you off anymore?
Um, I just think technology has made cars that are not 25 years old more enjoyable to drive. Like a great sound system.
God, yeah, so sound system, that's an interesting one. What's your next top two if it's not sound system? Is there like road noise? Is there like handling? Is there like comfort of cameras or screens or auto driving? Is there anything else?
It's all those things. Minus the driving. I mean, it's a great car to drive, but it doesn't have any amenities. Like it doesn't have cruise control.
So, okay, so my intuition is you should put it on the shelf for 5 years. Just that's just my gut. My gut tells me is to, and
There's
of
an
course,
opportunity cost.
and then have a price, like you said, um, so that if somebody offers you the right price, take it. I just have a feeling you're gonna if you give it up for a. Okay, so my point is like you should commit to getting another car no matter what. I just have a feeling that's the right answer. Um, but
Not just Uber around everywhere.
man, Calgary's such a driving city that you really do need a car still. Um, yes, you can Uber everywhere. It just there's certain situations when you just don't want to. Um, yeah, I don't know. I have a good Uber philosophy. I Uber whatever I think I need to, even though I have a car. I don't really care. I just Uber because it makes I don't take the risk of drinking and driving as much. And sometimes I just want to go home and somebody give me a ride, and I just want to go home. I won't take an Uber. I won't wait for them. Um, you have to have good philosophy on Ubers, but I think how about this? Can you Uber to Canmore? No. Like, can you Uber to Cochrane? Can you Uber to like? It depends on your perspective on Ubers. Are you do you have any money consciousness about Ubering across the city? Does that bug you at all?
Not compared to the cost of ownership of a car.
Perfect. So a lot of people don't have that philosophy. Okay, I just witnessed something yesterday. This is dumb, right? This one person wanted to grab dinner with three of us, but felt obligated to drive somebody home 30 minutes. But the solution was just throw them in an Uber.
Oh, I'm at the point where I put my friends in Ubers.
Exactly, exactly,
Like I don't want to.
exactly.
Like if it's like I want you to come and like especially here, like in Germany, someone's like, I don't want to take the train. I'm like, fuck, I'll just send an Uber and pick you up. Like I'm removing obstacles.
Exactly.
So they have no excuse to not hang out.
Exactly. I think as long as you have that perfect philosophy, then it should be easier. Um, would you ever Uber to Banff? I guess is that a mental block in your head?
I think just rent a car for the day for like $100.
Ooh, that's interesting. Where? Um,
I mean, like Enterprise, I don't know.
I don't know. Renting a car is just like painful. I find like it wastes like 45 minutes of my time going and
No, it doesn't.
doesn't
I
it?
rented a car for my ski trip. Dude, it's so fast now.
Is it so
You can do it
fast?
all almost digitally. Like I was out of there dropping the car off in like 5 minutes, and I think pickup was almost as quick.
Wow, I've
Like
not experienced that in
here in
Calgary,
Europe,
so
here in Europe, there's not even people. You just get assigned a key box and then you drive through and like this
see,
camera thing takes a picture of all the dents.
not convinced.
You're out in like five
I'm
minutes.
not convinced that's in Calgary, but maybe it's a little better than it
No,
used to
probably
be.
not. I'm just saying
Yeah, I just
they have
remember
that technology.
when I moved back from Vancouver, uh, I tried sharing a car and I tried renting a car. So that's why I rented a Model 3 and I rented a truck for a month and just tested out. And I remember just the rental process was a little annoying. So I
Oh,
wrote
it's
off
brutal.
being able to rent a car for a day. There's Communicado or whatever, but I'm pretty sure their cars are trash. So it's just not
Yeah, they're
enjoyable,
shitty.
right?
I'm just being devil's advocate.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
totally.
if I sold the car for like 50, 60 grand, I basically turn around and buy like a 100K car.
What would you buy?
And but I kind of just want a Porsche.
What kind of Porsche?
Would you even know if I told you?
No, but the audience would. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Yes, I realize I'm asking the question, but there's a, maybe I would know.
I doubt it.
10% chance. 10% chance.
Just probably the most expensive 911 I feel like putting my money into because
That's
those things will just always hold their value.
that's true. That's definitely true. So you got a Porsche. Can you fit golf clubs in a Porsche?
Uh, no, I don't golf. Who cares?
I'm just trying to counter the Porsche picking. Like you're not getting the SUV Porsche, I assume, because that's
No,
terrible.
I just said a 911.
Yes, I heard you. I heard you. Um, Interesting. I mean, so you're not taking your Porsche to ski trips either, right? Which is probably okay. Interesting. Would you sell it? I think what I've learned is people typically miss their nostalgic stuff, and it takes years for that to occur. So the only reason why you should not sell it is because future you is going to want it. That's it. That's the only reason.
I don't know how strong that is. I mean, I've had the car for like almost 20 years. So, you know, even I get bored of stuff.
Yeah, it's true. I think you're right about the technology. As much as I want
Yeah,
my Mazda back, I don't know if I'm young enough for that Mazda still, right? Like,
heated steering wheel's nice.
oh yeah, yeah.
But it's funny because everyone says the same about the Acura. Like, oh man, you drive like a yellow racer car. But now it's just cool again. I'm just a middle-aged guy with a classic car, and like people fucking thumbs up me and shit, or like they want to talk about it. I don't think I ever had like the. It's kind of like you're too old to be in a club. It's like you're too old if you think you are, and you're not if you're not. Just own it.
I'm not even worried about being like. I think what you said earlier was the technology. That's the
Yeah,
bigger
heated
factor.
steering wheel. Right, I've had heated cereal for the first time. It's so nice when your just hands are cold.
Okay, does your current car in Germany have auto steering or any auto features like for lane
Yeah, I
control?
almost have it always off though. I almost have it always off.
So
Like it's still not fast enough to react, especially Autobahn. Like I'm not leaving that thing on cruise ever. Hardly. I hardly ever use cruise. It's still not quick enough. It needs way more processing power, at least at Autobahn speeds. And then sometimes it's just not smart. Like it doesn't I don't know. Yeah, it still makes enough mistakes that like I'm a better driver. I mean, it does some stuff well, but it's still not like good enough to be. You can't be like reading a book in the car, you know.
hmm So I have a friend
So
who just bought a brand new. I don't think it's like a Honda something. It's a Honda SUV of some sort. I don't really know what it is.
okay,
And he uses lane assist and cruise control and like collision avoidance in front of you and stuff. But his gambit is that he's always on his phone closing deals and like he's a sales guy, so he's always like replying to people. and he's always driving as well because he has to go to sales meetings all the time. So he's just learned to trust his lane control, and he just texts and drives all the time and is super careless, and it works for him.
I'm like I'm like a managing director, and I don't have enough calls where I'm calling people from my car and stuff. So
Totally.
I
So
think people who are that busy are faking it or grossly disorganized. Maybe that's a hot take.
I don't
If you
think
don't
so.
have like,
Just that many
sorry,
texts. If you have 1,000 clients, I get it. I totally get it. I think it looks unsafe to me, to be honest. I don't think the Honda lane assist is, it's like, it feels swervy. It feels fucking terrible.
I think
But
I think a person
it
like
does it.
that will probably get into like a bad accident where like the airbag just like shatters both their arms, and then he'll just be like, "Oh, I should have really just hired an assistant for 60K."
I want to record this piece and send it to him. Yeah, agreed. I completely
And
agree. I will. Okay, maybe I'm kind of lazy, but I'll try.
yeah,
I completely agree with you. But I was just getting
it's
at
like,
that that person feels comfortable with it. You know, it's like, oh wow, why do you feel comfortable
yeah,
with this
but
shit?
everyone does because they're bad at assessing risk.
Yeah.
Feeling comfortable doesn't mean shit. If someone's like, "Oh, I feel comfortable doing that," cool.
So wait,
You
now
have four
you
kids.
you haven't
Pull out.
rented a
I don't
Tesla
know.
yet, have you though? Right? Because
I don't. I hardly ever rent cars in general.
so I would recommend renting going on autonomous driving in a Tesla because I think there's a step change there. And I haven't rented the top of the line one in terms of autonomous driving, but I think it's fucking clutch now from what I can read and see on YouTube. It looks to the point where I would feel comfortable texting and driving, being a dumbass because I just trust a car.
I think like I don't know, like my car's cold weather performance at zero is quite poor. I can't even imagine how little the battery holds when it's like minus 20.
It
So
uses
like I just
thermal.
would
It just
never,
it heats the batteries to maintain them for the temperature.
yeah, yeah, I know, I understand.
Start. Fine. Keep
I'm
going.
I'm just saying I would probably never own an EV in Canada with the way things currently are.
I haven't tested that. I also don't know. Huh. Um. Yeah, you might be right on that one. I haven't actually figured out ranges in Calgary on how bad they actually are. Um,
My car has like 440 on a normal day, but like if it's cold, it's like sub 300. And then if I'm driving fast, then it's more like 250. And that's at like that's at like zero or like plus two, which is like as cold as winters get here. If it's like minus 20, I bet you your range is like half or less than half. It could be even like a third. You know,
huh, I want to look that one up.
you could like park your car with like 15% and just wake up to it being dead. I don't know.
Yep, I can get that feeling. That would suck. Um,
So,
interesting.
and there's no infrastructure here. Like here, I get zero range anxiety. Like every gas station also has full DC charging at this point. So it's like, but like there, I'd have to like everywhere. If you think like planning your rental car is annoying, pre-planning a whole trip, I think some people find that fun. Like it's like couponing. I can't be fucking bothered to like be like, oh man, if we just stop here, take a 10-minute break, and then I optimize my charge so I get to my destination with like 15. Like people in the forums are like going all hard on that, and we're just like, dude, it's just like it's a waste of brain power for like the most trivial shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting. Huh, I don't know. I think that's the reason why I bring it up is because I'm kind of tired of my Jeep, as I've mentioned, and I'm trying to figure out also what I want to buy. And I don't know why Tesla. One of the Teslas just makes sense to me. I think that might be a bridge card between there, but I don't know what it is.
My brother has a Tesla.
Nice. He has a Model 3, I assume, or a Model Y.
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. How's he doing?
Not sure. But Roger has an electric car also. But I think if you're just like he has a Q4. Um, But it's like if you're just commuting and you have a very structured life, then I think it's fine, right? You just charge it home every night back to like your 80% or whatever the healthy battery level is. And then like if you can always go back to the home base and you're really not doing much, then that's fine. Or you're like a two-car household and
Yeah,
your wife has a gas car or whatever, so that for all your other needs, the 20% of the time where an electric car doesn't make sense, then you always have the backup. But I would never like sole own an EV in Calgary.
yeah, I can see the
But
rationale for that. Hmm, nice. I was going to buy a truck, to be honest, but then I found a truck guy who's just my truck guy now, so I don't need to own one. It's great.
you
Um,
just borrow it or he drives you around.
we do the truck tasks together, which is even better because I don't want to do them alone. I don't know. That's
Hilarious.
obviously the right solution, but I
It's
needed
like your
the
friend with a boat.
yeah, exactly. From a boat. But I think the important thing was it needs to be like a long bed truck and somebody who doesn't cost a ton of money. It's perfect. I found that guy and he's great. He has
When he
enough.
works for you or he just your
He,
friend?
he he works for me. Like I pay him hourly, and he has a flexible enough schedule that he can like book me in a few days' notice. It was
Oh man, that's actually sick. That's a good side hustle.
yeah.
Do they have that? Do they have like an Uber for trucks where you just need a truck guy?
So it's called like TaskRabbit, I think. There's like
Oh
TaskRabbit,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But the problem is you'll have to keep getting somebody new every time, right? Like getting a guy that you know is regular, and anybody who's regular is typically anybody who is good is just going to get busy, right? And then not be
What is
available.
something like that cost? Like it's just like an hourly rate or like
So I pay him hourly, and I just mentally math. I always bring cash. That's the rule for truck guys. Pay them cash, right? Like, um, I just,
oh my God, I got a craziest story for you too
I
about
just
cash.
estimate based on like when I first talked to him, he wanted 25 bucks an hour, and that's dirt cheap, right? I, I,
100%.
I round up
Especially if you get his help too.
exactly, right? So, I round up to around like 30, 35, or 40, and I just round up on the day on how I feel. I just tag it to him. He doesn't even count it now. We just he just knows that I'm one of his better paying customers. And the difference is that like I never want him for a full 8 hour shift because I don't want to work that hard. I only want him for like an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, right? And so I pay him a little extra
He's
because he know I want him to keep showing up, right?
what's he is he pocketing the cash or is he making it a business so you can write off his truck?
No idea what he's doing there. I don't think he's overthinking it. I think he's kind of like a blue collar guy who doesn't want to like go traditional blue collar stuff and doesn't want to like I don't know. It's people who like grew up poor who would rather fix their Jeep by themselves over 2 months than pay somebody to fix them because he doesn't have steady work. He doesn't need steady work. He's that one of those kind of
Yeah.
guys. If that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
yeah, makes sense. It depends if you're time rich or money rich,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Everything's just a balance there. So yeah, I would coupon if I had nothing but time and I was hard up for money.
He he.
But I probably wouldn't because I would just use my brain to go figure out ways to earn money instead of ways to save money. But you know what I mean,
So I
right?
think I think we all have that dial of where the right point is, right? And his dial is just way below us, and he's happy in that. He just doesn't care. That's not his. He's stoked to do that. Like, similar to me. Like I'm stoked to work in my house. Me and my buddy were running a dryer cable through my house to move my dryer around this week, and I wanted to do it. I know it's dumb to do it. I should just hire somebody, but that's not fun. So
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I
yeah,
think lots of people like building their own shit.
yeah.
Um, all right, man. That was more than I wanted to talk about my shit. Although I still don't have an answer for the car thing yet. I gotta just noodle on that a bit and figure out what my answer is. Um, all right, man. Tell us about your week.
Jesus. Well, it started off with us blowing up on each other a little bit. which is kind of funny. Um,
I think that was more me on you, but then possibly I think it might be justified. So I don't know.
no, no, totally. That was kind of funny. Yeah, I've had a stressful week because I've been closing this deal, right? Um, and I think the official news comes out tomorrow, actually. But not enough people watch this podcast. I don't really care. Um, let's see. I sold my polymarket analytics company to one of my advertisers, and I've been fielding three acquirers all week. One as the front runner, and yeah, we closed. I got the money in the bank, and it's day four of working for new bosses. Is kind of what I jokingly tell them, and it's kind of true. I think we talked about this last time on the pod that I was kind of tired of leading alone, and I'm not no more. And it's fucking awesome. It's awesome not to lead alone. In some I could do it. I did it, but it was hard, and I'd rather not. It's better as a bigger team. It's better as a having aligned incentives. So yeah, um,
Makes sense, man. It's good that you can act quickly once you have like a reasonably put together thought to be like, hey, I don't really want this anymore, so I'm gonna change it. You know,
yeah. Um, I mean, I didn't cash huge. I got maybe I doubled my money. Let's say, maybe a little more than that in
well, you
cash.
got the lottery ticket aspect of it.
The equity's worth it, man. The equity in my mind is really what's worth it, and it could turn into a really big payday. It's possible. In all likelihood, the worst case scenario, it's a tiny payday, but like I'm sure the asset's worth something. Um, one
Well,
of one of my
you
friends,
doubled your money
yeah,
and you increased your luck surface for that particular thing. So I mean, profit's profit, I think.
yeah, profit's profit. One of my friends, Jesse, told me a line that I didn't realize that was so smart. He said he knew a guy who sold his company and then bought it back for cheap and then sold it again and then bought it back for cheap. And he's just like, hey, why are you stressing out? If they fuck up, they'll just give it back to you for almost nothing. So don't even stress on this, that like just take a good deal, right? Because if they can't handle the asset, watch it come back. And I didn't even realize that's likely to happen if things all fail, right? Like, why would they even care if they're rational? Um, so that was
Yeah.
interesting that helped me, rationalize this
It's
deal.
like when you fires somebody and then you like realize you actually needed them, so then you hire them back at a consultant, but they're mad at you, so they just triple their day
Of
rate.
course they do. Of course they do. Yep. The hardest thing was once you start getting acquisition offers, you sort of get your head in an ego trip on like what you think things are worth. And then when you get multiple, you start even, considering like, should I be like countering these offers and blowing up my price and trying to go for like max extraction? And that's the hardest thing. It mentally wrecks with you. Are you making a wrong decision here? Should you just keep the asset? All those things spiral in your mind.
I mean, that's like a key poker concept, right? Because everyone gets dealt similar variants of hands. The key is to minimize your losses when you get coolers or bad hands, but also maximize your winnings when you're in those juiced up spots, right? Because especially let's say like no limit hold'em, like your long tail is super long because you could usually you make money off the one big score, right? Like if you win the WSOP, for example, it's not from you don't like it doesn't matter that you average lots of winning pots. You know what I mean? You need to think through maximizing the one scenario you're in where it's insane. So I think it actually, I mean, it's too late now, but like when you're in those situations, it makes sense to just slow down and be mindful about it because those are like the long tail opportunities.
Yeah. I think one other cognizant fact is like, I don't know, people have to go through DD, like due diligence, and understand that. all deals take time and the market shifts fast, and you got to be careful not to delay things as well. So one of the hardest things I dealt with was, there was one acquirer who came to the party really late, and I went on a call with them, and because they knew I was already had a good offer on the table, they alluded to a juicier offer, right?
Mhm.
And I had to turn that down in the late hours because I already knew I was going to sign the other one. And I realized that, I mean, they were only doing that just because they wanted to test what it was worth and what I would go for. But it's not like they were putting any money up front on the table. But the other big factor, what I
Mm.
realized is I value the team more than I value the money somewhat, or equally amounts, like the team you work with matters more because in my mind, we're going to win if the team's a winner. And I felt like the other two acquirers were losers. That's just what my gut was. So I couldn't even sell it to them, even if the price was higher, just because I didn't think they were going to win. And maybe I don't know, that's just how I saw it. Um, so that was kind of stressful.
It depends on what your long-term goals are. I mean, if you just wanted to get out of the game, then obviously you just want to maximize sales price
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
rather than upside.
totally. And that was the hardest. That was hard to think about too. And I didn't know what I wanted. But in the end, I wanted to stay in the game and um, get somebody off the table. And that's what I chose. It was good. Um, yeah, and it feels good this week being day 4 of working for this new org.
Well, obviously, congrats to you, of
Thanks, man.
course. I mean, very few people can even say that. So,
Dude, I'm stoked that I flipped a website and I flipped a company. Like I've never bought a company and then sold it. That's my first, I've always built them from nothing, but buying one and selling it is fucking awesome.
yeah, it's cool to be able to identify those opportunities, of course, which don't come by that often, I think, and then see it before other people. That's also like a skill too, right?
Do you want to hear a crazy idea of something to buy or not? I think I already told you this one. I think I told you maybe in Newfoundland there's a house I want to buy. Um, did I tell you this?
You did.
Um, just to have a gut feeling again on something that's intangible, that's just worth money. But I don't know how to validate it. I think I have to go there. I don't know.
Oh, you absolutely need to go there. If I wouldn't buy it sight unseen,
You
there
wouldn't
might be
buy
like
Sonitude?
no.
Uh, yeah,
I've done that before and it hasn't been good.
yeah.
It's just yeah. Especially now that like we're smarter, I think. There's like gut feel things now that I trust in myself that like you can't read on like a spec sheet. You know what I mean?
Totally agree.
So yes, I would want to go personally look at it and like feel it.
Yeah,
So I think like yeah, over time I've become more analog. Just like okay, I want to meet this person in person. I want to do that in person, even if it's just to have like an important conversation. Like no Zooms for that kind of thing, if possible. Rather spend the day. And I think like people appreciate it too because they can tell you're serious.
hmm,
So if I was like deep into a remote job or like remote job application, I would like offer to fly. I would just fly myself there. Be like, I'll just come to you and say hello because that's how serious I am.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
completely
I
agree.
like the thesis. You should share it unless someone can easily find it. But
Um, no, I'm just gonna share it. You're right. Okay, so okay. Caveat: I haven't done enough vetting on this idea. I just have a feeling. Okay,
I
well, I
think in
guess.
general it's a good. Is that the only? Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I
Share it,
don't.
and then I got one
Okay, so
question.
let's start off with why I wanted this. Okay, so for the last about 3 or 4 years, I've been like trying to find where rockets would launch in Canada. I just keep like looking for where I can launch a rocket in Canada because I want to go to space and I wanted to know like, okay, where could we have a spaceport? Right. So I was trying to look like even like 30 years down the road, what's the closest spaceport to Calgary? That kind of concept, right? Noise restrictions. I came to the conclusion that Rocky Mountain House is probably the best way to, to launch over the mountains, and even that's fucking dumb because um, there's mountains and environmentally nobody would do it, but maybe. I considered like launching east, farmland. I was like, oh fuck, where does this actually work, right? And obviously, like land spaceports aren't even a thing yet, are much less a thing um, in Canada. So I came to the conclusion that like Comox Airport in off Vancouver Island was a good place because um, there's already an Air Force there for Canadian Air Force, and I was like, okay, that's the spot. That's got to be where we launch rockets from. And I just kept looking and looking, and it never occurred to me like the East Coast made sense. But then I heard about a company named Nord Space who's been testing rockets, and they have um, a planned space launch area off of Newfoundland. Um, and what I didn't realize was how far Newfoundland juts into the Atlantic Ocean as well. I don't know.
Someone get this motherfucker a globe. So
We
there's
keep
a
saying this, but
listener
nobody
who
buys
just
me a globe,
wants to
man. I
buy a
want a globe.
globe.
I just want a globe. I need a map.
You,
God damn.
bro, you should just buy a globe today. It's plus EV for your life. Like, I don't know what other epiphanies you might have, but like, just fucking buy a globe and like,
I'm waiting for that
you're gonna
perfect
walk past
globe.
that thing
I
like
don't
three
want. I don't
times
know
a
where to
day,
put
and I
it.
think it's plus EV.
I don't know where to put it. Yes, yes. I need a globe.
I think it's
Um.
plus EV.
Okay. Well, I don't know. There's a spot in Newfoundland where you launch south, and America's not even in your way. You have just deep ocean, and that's what's really needed, right? You need enough of a runway that you have, no restrictions, and I think that's a perfect spot. So, I mean, the CEO of Nordspace has a picture of Newfoundland on his profile, and you can clearly figure out where it is. He doesn't spell it out for you, but there's a picture of the landmass of Newfoundland, and you're like, oh, it's fucking there, obviously. So I figured that out, and I'm sure that's public somewhere, but I wasn't able to find it where it's written. Um, and there's a town that's 15 minutes away from it or 20 minutes away from it, and it just reminds me of Boca Chica. So um, Elon built Boca Chica by taking over that town and building his spaceport there. And that launches into the Atlantic as well. Mostly it launches into the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America now, what it's called.
Hmm.
Um, and That's a perfect spot too. What you really need for a spaceport is enough of a population to support the industry, I would say is one. Two, you want roads in so you can transport in materials. Um, and you know, Three is you don't want to be within noise constraints of anywhere that's big. Um, and my gut tells me this fits all that criteria. But of course, Canada's way behind on space. But with the Trump tariffs, I think we're putting a ton more money into space research and trying to get private industry off the ground because we don't want to rely on America anymore. So my gut says all space companies are going to, 10x over the next couple of years, if I were to guess. Um, doesn't mean they're profitable, just means they're 10 times bigger. And I think this one company has a good shot, and I just think Newfoundland has a good shot. So somewhere in Newfoundland, I think is going to be where we have a decent spaceport in the future. And this just seems like one possible choice, but it seems like the right one to me. But I mean, of course, that's just the thesis. We could obviously do some crazy, we can do way more research to figure out all the ideal conditions and find where it should be. Um, the other factor is I've always wanted to visit the Maritimes. I just wanted to be. I feel like I'm drawn to there for some reason. I want to just go check it out, and I feel like I've checked out the West Coast enough. I want to know what the East Coast feels like, and having an excuse to go is a good excuse.
But is this like the only property there, or are there lots of properties there?
So, from my understanding, there's four properties for sale right now in St. Lawrence, which is a little town of Newfoundland, which is about 3.5 hours west of Halifax. If that makes any sense. Um, and St. Lawrence is a town that has 10,000 people in it, so like it's a tiny ass town. Um,
Right. So you're gonna buy a property there in case it blows up because of the Canadian space industry.
yeah, yeah, that's the whole rationale.
What would you do with it in the meantime?
rent it out. Just try to create a zero cash flow situation, maybe negative, whatever.
Mega long game.
Yeah,
Interesting.
exactly.
The only downside I can see is like this thing is like it's like a fucking 6 hour flight to get there. It's like quite far away. And then I don't know what the closest airport is. Like if it is Halifax,
it's Alpha.
then you're also like, let's say yeah, it's a 6 hour flight, then a 3 hour drive.
Yeah,
Like that's a long way to go if you have a tenant issue.
you're totally right that there's a long way to go. Um, I think there's a other. Okay, you're totally right. I would say that. Okay, do you think your real estate purchases to date were good investments or diversified?
No.
So to
No to
me,
both.
no to both, right? To me, I just bought a house. I don't know if the answer is yes or no yet, but my gut tells me that's a version of diversification that like of having another place across country. Um, that's not your market is one concept, but then two, I think is I have a buddy who owns a place in Saskatchewan and in California who lives in Vancouver, and he does this all the time. He has to make a trip. He's kind of a mechanic kind of guy and kind of flexible, but um, he goes to Regina every now and again, or like somewhere in Saskatchewan, some fuck nowhere, and California every now and again. And it's fun for him. It's not like it's negative money, but it's like an excuse to go on a weird trip to fix something. And he's sort of handy, and I'm sort of handy.
Okay. I'm just saying that's a 2 hour flight. You're 6 plus 3.
You're right.
It's
You're right.
like
You're right.
quite far.
Yes.
And then like no one flies those routes, so like those plane tickets are also expensive.
Ooh, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
You're probably 2 grand every time you need to do anything over there.
Ooh, I never considered that of how much it could actually be. Hmm.
So like yeah, your house is 120, but like op cost is probably high. Like
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not
if you want
wrong.
to be like, I want to speculate. Okay, but then let's like zoom out, right? Zooming out. You're just like, I want to speculate on real estate that's related to space exploration. Then you gotta ask yourself, is buying the house the best way to do that? Right? Because that's really what you're doing when you distill it.
So, you know what?
So
My counter to that was like trying to get on the cap table of one of these small companies, and trying to get stock in like private space company
the
that I think
best
doesn't
the
suck.
best way to do that is to work for them.
Exactly. Exactly. Um,
But man, I think like the time to exit for private equity has extended so much
mhm, mhm.
that there's you only have so much of your life to spend.
Yep.
Look at Everett, 7 years, nine, no, yeah. Like I've been there almost six, bro. And like it's been private this whole time with like very little line of sight to an exit. So you get on a cap table, you could easily dump 10 years into that and get nowhere. So it's also risky in terms of time opportunity cost. I mean, you have to like it and like have a passion for it, but also saying that's no slam dunk either.
I completely agree. And for me, I guess where my hurdle comes in is I don't feel adequate to work for a private space as an engineer yet. And I just feel like I need to get the learnings and somebody's need to take a chance on me. And I want to be part of it. So I'm just trying to wiggle my way in. But I don't want to work for government space. I just know that for certain. I do not want to work for a government org that does space stuff. I just know that's garbage. Um, I want to work for a private org that has its own monetization path, that doesn't rely on grants or government money, like that has some kind of path without it or can struggle through it. I don't
I think
know.
it's tough. It's like energy. Like aerospace is like highly political once you achieve any sort of success or size. I mean, just look at Bombardier. They pretty much got fucked up by the American government at some point, which resulted in them being purchased by Airbus. Like it's kind of like energy. It's not a pure meritocracy. Like SpaceX needed the NASA contracts to continue going, which is all like obviously relationship building. Like on top of being good, you also need the lobbying and all that, right? So, I mean,
But he at
at,
least
in,
could do dev. Like he could at least build shit because he had his own bankroll, right? Like he didn't make that restrict him at least, right? He had partial bankroll on his own, so
still
he
needed the NASA contracts to survive,
yeah, yeah,
which
I know,
I think I've had this argument with somebody, but I was proven right.
yeah,
If he didn't have those initial launch contracts, even his own money wouldn't have been enough. It
I
was
know,
just so
I know.
fucking
You're totally right.
expensive.
You're totally right. You do obviously need some government, but I guess some government with less strings, right? Is kind of the concept. Is what you need.
Oh, fully agreed. I'm just saying, like, if you want to distance yourself from the government, I think that's a fantasy,
Yeah, I
especially
know.
in aerospace.
Yeah, I would totally agree, and I wish there was a path. That's the path I'm trying to find. I just know that's the fun path. That's the enjoyable.
I think the sexiest space thing that I can think of is probably like mining, like a pure platinum meteor. Maybe because like I just love bling, but that seems really fun to me.
Hilarious. I'm sure that
Like we're
exists.
just gonna go land something on a meteor and then completely crash the platinum commodities market by hauling that thing back to Earth.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So I heard a pitch a month ago from a Calgary company. Um, Two founders. They were pitching um, space robots that protect satellites. They're pitching space defense, by the way. They're pitching like,
Yeah,
hey, we have this Sentry bot, and it follows our
yeah,
satellites
dude.
around, and
I
it's like,
think
hey, we're gonna prevent against us from getting shot, which is dumb as fuck.
what
But
the fuck was I reading? I was reading something where I also do believe the future is headed that way. I mean, okay, look at what's happening in Iran. It's all based on intelligence, which is all satellite and AI, Starlink. Like, basically, in order for any combatant to not just be like immediately sniped by like a precision bomb, which like everybody has at this point, like you need to destroy their comms, which is why Iran blew up those radar stations that were worth like 300 million bucks. And but it's like, dude, you absolutely need to like take out like the spy satellites in space. So again, I don't know what the time horizon is for that, but fuck. Um, Space, I don't even forget whatever their pitch was. I think things are going that way also.
so I wanted to join that company as soon as they pitched. I was like ready to join, and I couldn't. I don't know. I wanted to get a hold of them.
It's just like, man, it's too Terminator. Like I
Oh, it
just
definitely is.
do I just become a wood hermit at that point and learn how to cut wood? Because
Yeah,
that's just not a life I want to be a part of. We're already into like slippery slope shit where it's just like, you know, Anthropic doesn't want to monitor Americans, but then psychopath Sam Altman just steps in to like take that contract. Like, fuck me.
oh, yeah. Um, Speaking of Starlink, I got my Starlink 2 days ago. I haven't installed it yet, but um, that was a rash decision. Not a little expensive, but I realized I needed to just get more space, and that's one step to being more space. You know, having space internet at least. So I'm excited about that. But
Wait, you want to get more spacey?
yeah, I mean, I need to buy a telescope. You know, I need to just get more spacey myself.
Start with the globe.
Oh
Start
yeah,
with the globe.
the globe, obviously the globe. I don't have a place to put the globe. I don't know where I'd put it.
Make room. Throw that plant away. Put the globe where that plant is right now. That's more plus EV than that shitty
Okay,
plane.
I will get this globe. You will see me with a globe soon.
You absolutely need a globe.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. I
That way
think
you'll know where the Strait of Hormuz is and then understand why oil's at 90 so that you can make good investments.
yes.
So much of the world is geography, man. It's crazy. I've become such a like more appreciative of just like if you have bad geography, like you'll just structurally be poor or rich. So getting the globe is like quite plus EV, I think, especially for a guy who apparently just never looks at maps. So
Yeah. All right. I'll take your opinion on it.
the
Yeah.
biggest globe you can find, where you can put the
Biggest globe.
booze inside of it.
Oh my God, that globe is so dope. Whoa, I never even considered about getting that globe. That's a fucking
Get your ass a
killer
booze
globe.
globe.
Booze globe. Whoa. I like it. I like it a lot. What was I gonna say? Yeah,
Hey, maybe that'll be your China imports. Hey, what if we started boozeglobes.com? I want a 10% royalty on that.
sure, it caps, but sure, I'm in. So wait, we were talking about investments on, this house idea, which is, has some merit. We also met with your buddy, which I won't talk about it too much, but that was fun. That was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing my office a little bit. I was trying to set up that pitch where you were on a big screen, which was kind of fun. Um, my only question for you was, do you think, are you a yes or a no, even in this moment?
A yes on the person, and like if someone just said, "Hey, I need 20 grand, support me because I'm your friend," I think I'm like kind of at the point where I could do that without thinking about it too much. But it does go against, I think I'm one clouded because the investment is too much adjacent to, like, I know too much. And sometimes knowing too much is bad. Because everything sounds great when it's just an idea. Once you get into the ugly details, it never sounds as good. I think I'm a maybe. Uh, I think my own personal macro is just like, man, do I want to still stay involved in this shit in the medium term, right? I don't know if that's burnt out me talking though. So, you know, so that's number one. So it's not a fuck yes. So then if I follow my own macro, if it's not a fuck yes, then it's a no. But it's like, okay, do I just light 20 grand on fire? And then what I just told you, these private equity plays, they take fucking 5 to 10 years to do. So it's just like, man, like, okay, sure, I lock up 25 and then it 10x's to a quarter million, right? Paid, like, would I care about a quarter million when I'm 50?
Exactly.
Like, probably not.
Yeah. So I completely agree with your train of thought, and I'm also very similar to that. And I just look back at our track record on PE kind of deals, and I gotta say, we didn't. I don't know if any of our deals have. I don't know if we've done a good job of making the decisions on them, right? To be honest. So I mean, we can say them out loud even. I mean, I
Yeah.
know Axling Bangkok is a concept of one. That was a little more. It was a little more closer to home, but even then, it was a PE deal because we were not in control of them, right? They were in control themselves. They were adjacent to us. Um, you know,
I think investments without governance might just be bad
yeah,
because most people just suck.
most people just suck, right? Yeah. So if they don't have your governance as part of the table, isn't that the biggest synergy you can give, right?
If you want to be involved, yeah. And I totally makes sense why like people buy into the management team because like if there's a good management team, you can just let them be autonomous, which is like kind of what you want if you're just trying to deploy your money. But then I'm also just thinking like, why go PE at all? Like it's like unless you find it fun to run the business, it's like I think the public markets are super fun right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you one weird thing that I think I'm thinking out loud of all the PE deals I missed on that I should have maybe jumped on because they did turn out well. If ever you're invited to a round and the messaging is, hey, this is the last spot and it's going, I don't have time to give you a pitch even. Maybe those are the ones you're supposed to take. And maybe that's bad meta, but like being late to rounds when everybody's already said yes and you just have it on friends, maybe those are the ones you're supposed
I
to go around.
haven't I haven't seen enough deals. I haven't seen enough deals that to I haven't seen enough deals to like have a trend there, to be honest. Uh, I mean, there is a general saying, right? Things that are going up continue to go up.
Hmm.
So, yeah, if there's momentum, it makes sense. Like, that's why, like, a mistake a lot of people do is like they don't buy at an all-time high, and that's a fallacy because it's like if this thing's hitting all-time highs, it's more than likely that it's going to continue to hit all-time highs because it's like good, right? People do the opposite. Oh man, it pulled back. You try and catch like a falling knife in a stock. It's like no, it's tanking because people see that it's failing. Like I think momentum matters a lot. That's why
That's
people go into bidding wars on houses and stuff. So you can use that in your favor or against your favor. And then of course it's just like but I'm very much still like Buffett style. I'm not making a trade, right? Like it's like having conviction because I think conviction is the only reason why you don't just flip it for a 2x. Like my investment into IREN, for example, where I'm currently sitting at like I'm at like a 6x from my initial investment, but I've been buying on the way up. So my cost basis is higher. And it's probably 50% off its highs, but I haven't sold anything because it's like, dude, this business looks amazing still. But if you don't have conviction and you just flip it, that's like what I mean, right? You take your win with pocket aces pre-flop, and sure, that's good, but it's like could have trapped and made and doubled up. But it's not about the number of wins. I think it's you don't come across good stuff that often, and when it is, you just need to like do your due diligence and like really know the business, which is something like I never did in the past. Wasn't like didn't believe in it, right? Like didn't really truly know it. Like so I think that's actually where my investment attitude has changed in like very recent times.
mhm. Yeah. Uh,
So if I really wanted to do PE this time, like let's use that axe throwing thing, I would have flown over there, met the owners, or like checked
yep.
in on it.
I think that's totally it. I flew over there, but that wasn't enough. You need to fly early. I needed to. You have to be rigid with your rules for sure. And I'm still learning PE. I think I've been part of more deal flow, and I've seen more deal flow, and I've been part of it a little more. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to be better at that because there's so many easy pitfall mistakes, especially when 90% of PE deals go. We're talking about PE, and I was saying that 90% of PE deals fail. At least, most of them
Yeah,
go to
they do.
zero.
Maybe it's higher. And
I
honestly,
think
we
it's
haven't done enough to even
yeah,
call anything a portfolio. But
exactly.
honestly, okay, PE is like, man, I think it's fucking overrated, man. It's so, I don't want to see 40 pitches where like 30 of them are bad, you know? And like, again, like I think I mentioned this before. It's like why I'm not really in like the startup scene. Like I don't care.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I kind of heard of this PE network of VC capital, and it sounds like all these guys work on like commission. They don't even work on like they don't get a steady salary. They're just told that, hey, check your network, and if you see a deal come through, bring it to our firm. But really, it's like, I mean, everybody like labels themselves a VC, but really they're not. And
I think
um,
some people, I think what the better group is, like Hampton or like EO in Calgary. It's
yeah,
like you're vetted, but you kind of already kind of have to have made it. Like there's like a filter for revenue. It's like if you're not ARRing 1 million a year, you're not in the club. So it gets away from people who like can't, uh, how do I file my taxes? Does anyone know an accountant? Like it just filters out like all that noise, and it's just like you're dealing with like real, real issues. Like how to do layoffs. One of my founders is a total cocksucker. How do I get rid of them? Or like I don't know, first world problems, I guess,
yeah.
but for business owners. I'm
So
not
what?
even saying I belong in there, which because I don't. But
Yeah,
like,
I'm on the fringes, but I think what I've learned is there's so many fake funds, fake investment clubs that are like, they like, I mean, they let you in for 5 grand, and it's just um,
oh, I've
like,
seen those.
hey, let's put 5 grand into our fund, each of us. It's like that's not enough money to do anything with,
Those are
you know,
almost guaranteed
right?
loser.
And
Those are like
you can do it for networking if you need to get into this. If you're new to the scene, sure, that's a good idea. And I think it's mostly for people who have full-time jobs. But anybody who's been in startups long enough that that's how they sustain themselves are real, like, for the most part. Like if you don't, if you're surviving on it is one thing. But
okay.
secondly,
I've
everybody knows that like you need substantial checks to actually get anything done, right?
Well, I think big. I think if you're doing anything worthwhile, I also think that, and I think I've shared this hot take with you before. Like, I've never called myself a small business owner or a startup. It's like I don't want to make my identity a small business owner. I want to be a big business owner. Be? Why would I ever like make friends and be in that small business community? And then suddenly you're just like, that's so much part of your like identity and like self-worth that you're a small business. Then all you do is like farmers markets and you go around doing dumb shit like support small business. It's like, no, people should just support you because you have the better product. Gives a shit what your size is or whether or not you're fucking local or not, or that you're woman founded or whatever the case might be. Just be good and you'll make money. You don't need to angle yourself like someone's doing something charitable to like make your business succeed because that's a horrible reason, you know?
I completely agree. My analogy on it is a lot of startup people I meet are all just like, oh, if only I had VC capital, or if only I got this big grant. It's just like that's not your problem. That's not what gets your business driving force. You need customer feedback. You need a monetization plan. You need a recursive cycle that motivates you. And a single one-off check or a single one-off grant isn't the thing that actually gets it moving. And people keep thinking
I
that's
think
your hurdle, but it's not.
I think they have their place because it can buy you time to get momentum going. But it's like any championship team, right? Like you need the time, but you also need like, I don't know, 5, 6 people that are willing to grind at the same time you are to get it going. That's the other thing too. Like I think partly like ever, it's like we've been grinding too long that like Crosby's past his prime, right? Like if you're a GM of a hockey team, you put together two good lines that are in their prime that can actually win. But like that window doesn't last forever because like people's best ability, right? Whether they have like in business, whether they have kids or they're just tired, like I would admittedly say that I am now, or can't just take it for granted that that window never closes. That like high chance of success window, right? So.
So what I from my industry, my old colleague Steve tells me this. We're like, we need new blood. New blood is important. New blood gets the momentum going, and you have to switch out new blood every now and again. Take off the people, put them on the bench, let them relax, and let the new blood lead, and then bring the bench warmers back in. You know,
I I don't doubt that. Like we hired a new legal here and a new HR, and they're like a breath of fresh air. But I think, me personally, I think it's not enough.
I don't think it's enough. You're right. It's not enough. You need the new blood at the director level. You need the new blood at the founder level. You need the new blood at the customer level. There's a whole bunch. It's not enough. Support staff isn't enough typically.
It helps though. Like I
It
mean, it
helps. It
just.
helps.
But of course, it's not enough when you get this big, as big as we are. I think.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, I don't know. There's more than one way to skin the cat, I guess. But
Yeah.
so, what's next for you? I guess go back to first day of school, first day of work.
Day four right now. I've been working all weekend shipping code, and it's been great actually. I've had a week of hard. I mean, I was shipping code during due diligence as well, just to prove myself. And to be honest, in the last 10, 12 days, I put in like, I don't know, 200 hours of coding and just leveled up myself there too. That feels great. Just funny, you have the North Star and all of a sudden you can work. Um, I think we have a 2 month roadmap and a 6 month roadmap. I really want to tell you about one. It sounds like we close our safe round for the conglomeration of the group. Um, and I want to tell you, I here one of the investors is a famous poker player. Um, and I won't say his name on the air today, but I will next week when it's public. Um,
Damn. Okay.
because I
In
don't think
this, in the firm that bought you.
in the firm that bought me, they went for their safe round and they closed it. I think as of like today. I think they get their check today. Um, I'm not really sure to be honest, but um, yeah, and that's kind of funny. But the plan is really just, I'm in charge of the engineering, a little bit of business stuff. I'm not, in charge of everything anymore. So I get a nice, easy path of what I'm supposed to work on and some accountability, and that feels good. Um, yeah, and then I mean, I'm still working on my side projects. Me and my buddy Lucas came over and we ran some electrical cables in my house this week, which was fun. We ran a couple, like 3 circuits. I'm moving my laundry around, so we ran like a new dryer line, and I'm still working at my house, and that's fun. It's getting some momentum, and it's been enjoyable. I showed you that picture of that pump because I'm moving where um my washing machine goes, and you have to pump up the drain line to a higher level of where the drain is, and yeah, I don't know, just learning that kind of stuff and working at towards making my spa in the backyard. My plan is hopefully by the fall it'll be open. Will be the plan. So
And you'll be my friend with the boat.
yeah, exactly. It's how you give back. I mean, you got to give back. I'm going to give back with
I
a
like
hot
that
tub,
attitude.
a sauna, and a cold plunge. Whatever. That's the plan.
I
Yeah.
like that attitude.
I mean, we've had this plan on the books for ages. Like hot tub with towel service, and like we've talked about this for ages.
Bro,
Locker service, right?
I would happily, I would happily COO that for you, like, and run that operation.
Yeah. So that's still on the table. Essentially, that's really more or less the plan. Yeah. It's just the hardest thing about that is trusting people to go into the house and use the washroom, right? Like it's one thing to have a spa setup, it's another thing to have a shower setup, right?
I think that's why you have to be like highly selective on the inner circle.
Exactly.
And then I also think if you want to make it more exclusive, it's like every new member needs unanimous acceptance.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe help me figure that out once it's open. It's still going to take some time. I mean, I know you still haven't been to my house, which is hilarious. One cool thing about my house is it has a trail that leads to the spa, which is kind of cool too. And I want to renovate that eventually because I want people to not go through my home. Like I don't want them to like even touch like don't even be next to my vehicle, right? Like park down the street and take the trail up to the spa, you know?
It's like a public trail?
It's called Blackfoot Trail. It's an old Indian trail. That's adjacent to my house that leads to a lower road. That's not where I park. So um what I like about that is it's separate access, right? And it's like separate car access too, right? Like somebody can go to the spa and I don't even care because I don't have to go through my window view. And I don't really care. I don't, I can, if that makes any sense. But we'll see if
So
it ever
it's
works out.
public. It's a public road that can access your house from the back somehow.
Correct. But it's not a public road, it's a public trail. It's only 6 feet wide. It's not,
It's a
you know,
trail for feet, walking trail.
nobody uses it, but yes. Yes. Like it's overgrown and like it's
Oh,
only,
but it's not your land.
correct. It's not my land. It's federal land. It's not even city land. You can't acquire it. It's there forever. If that makes any
What if you
sense.
just maintain it for free?
That's the plan. I'm going to chainsaw all the brush and I'm going to try to boardwalk
You're
it.
allowed to. Are you allowed to do that though?
Yeah, why not?
So
I
good,
mean,
man.
no, because
Because you're mucking around on crown land.
whatever. I'm maintaining crown land. I think you're allowed to. I'm not allowed to put any structures on it. I'm allowed to boardwalk it, I think.
Hmm.
I don't know. My neighbor thinks I can, so I'm going to plan to do that, but we'll see.
I wouldn't even check the legality of that. I'd just be like, see if anyone
Nobody even
makes
uses
me
it.
cease and desist.
Nobody even uses it. Um, so it's a little steep is the problem, but I think it'll work. It just sounds magical to like take a trail to the spa, instead of um, going down a backside
Steep,
of a house, right? It is
steep
steep.
just means no. Steep just means no fatties.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. So I need to buy a chainsaw, which is on the procurement list, to take out that overgrown and
No,
fix them.
the top thing on your procurement list is a globe.
Okay, that's right.
It's been super. Everything on your list has been superseded by the booze globe.
Boots Globe. Love it. Um, yeah, buddy. So you're not coming back anytime soon, right? You're not. There's no trip on the books. Oh, wait, Jordan's wedding, I guess.
I am going to try and move back by then.
Ooh, good luck. I hope you do it. Um, nice.
I haven't mentally prepared for the 4 week grind that would take, honestly. And I would say that I did very little this weekend. And now it's dark outside and I don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
When I got back from yoga today at noon, the day had a lot of potential. And now it's 7 p.m. and the day has much less potential.
yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard grinding those late hours on a Sunday, no less. But yeah, you got the whole week. You'll be all right. It's starting to snow again. We had a beautiful warm spell, but now it looks like there's snow on the ground.
That's crazy, man. It's fucking 17 out right now. It's probably a beautiful night.
Yeah, but we
So,
had like 13 yesterday. It was beautifully sunny and 13. So we've had some good weather. I'm not complaining.
yeah.
But hey, I think that's a good wrap. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, man. Um, it's all good. Well, good luck with the newish, sameish gig, and I'm sure we'll have more to talk about in the near future.
Bye, everybody.
See you, buddy.